Hello again. Another story. This one's called A Whiff of Success. It just shows you what happens when science goes a bit wrong. Read by me, written by me, copyright by me, Al Donaldson. Whiff of Success. As soon as I walked in, I could smell it. Burton Shaw had made the breakthrough. Burton Shaw. He looked around. I love you, I said. Burton Shaw gulped. Here, he said, passing me a respirator. You're breathing it in. It's affecting you. After a few gasps, I looked at him and said, My, that's potent. And forget what I said earlier. You are a revered colleague. I'm not sure he smiled, as he also was wearing a respirator. Let's get outside while this clears. I'll put on the extractor fans. Will it be safe? Yes, pretty sure. It'll just dissipate. We'll have to dilute it for commercial use. Outside we removed our masks. I took in a breath of air. You cracked it then. We cracked it. Burton Shaw and I had been working on a universal aroma that everyone could use. It would smell masculine or feminine, and using artificial intelligence to make synthetic pheromones, we'd succeeded. The next stage was getting a deodorant company interested. I had no doubts we'd sell it. I looked over Burton Shaw's shoulder. What's that? That's the vent from the extractors. As we looked on, a vast white cloud had developed and was getting larger and started to drift towards the town. Out of the building came other research workers in their white lab coats. Some started to kiss each other. Man and woman, woman and woman, man and man. I even noticed one chap stroking the crossbar of his push bike in a loving way and kissing the seat. Quick, said Burton Shaw, get your respirator back on. But it was too late. I noticed this lab technician and I had this urge to. Before I knew it, the respirator had been jammed on my face. After a few gasps, my senses returned. What's happening? It's reacting to the atmosphere. It's replicating itself. The white cloud got thicker and was now hugging the ground, obscuring God knows what. The grunting and moans could be heard in every direction. I can't see a thing. The cloud is heading towards the town, exclaimed Burton Shaw. You know, I've always been fond of you, he continued. Yes. How long do these respirators last? Not long enough, I thought, and he draped an arm over my shoulders. I shrugged it off. We must warn someone. I'll phone. You get back to the lab, stop the extractor fan, and destroy the scent. It's only the tiniest amount in a petri dish. Just stop it. If a small amount could create this, you've got to stop it. We made our way back inside the building, stepping over couples who averted my gaze. Burton Shaw went downstairs to the lab and I found a phone. It rang constantly till eventually someone said, Hello, Breckleston Police Station, PC Arkwell speaking. There's no time for me to explain, but a white cloud is heading your way. It's imperative that you get as many people indoors and their windows closed. I've got news for you. It's already here. What the heck is it? It won't kill anyone. It just makes people do very strange things. You're telling me the Chief Constable's going to have some explaining to do, I can tell you. Oh, hold on a second. I could hear his voice as he remonstrated with someone. Look, stop that. Now stop that. You shouldn't be doing that with your Alsatian. He came back to the telephone. Blooming dog handlers. How long is this going to last? I'm well cheesed off. I don't know. And then a thought struck me. Why haven't you succumbed? That's why I'm cheesed off. It doesn't work on me, and no one fancies me either. And he hung up. That evening I watched the national news with trepidation. knowing that I and Burtonshaw were the cause of all the chaos. I'd gone downstairs to see what he was doing and to get a new filter for my respirator, and found the extractors full on. I turned them off and looked at the Petri dish. It was still full. If a massive cloud could be formed by a minuscule amount, I was horrified at the thought of what may happen. The newsreader began. The unexplained white cloud has now covered the United Kingdom and is drifting towards Europe. Experts have said that if it doesn't dissipate, it will envelop the earth within a few weeks. And so it did. The whole world turned into one giant love-in. The hippie era was back. The age of Aquarius had finally arrived. All wars ended and none began. It wasn't that we'd stopped hating. It was just that everyone was too shagged out to do anything. Apart from PC Arkwell. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd be very grateful. Thanks very much indeed. And I'll see you next time. All the best now. Bye-bye.